Hey, Deanne.
Hey, Barney.
So, as you folks may know, Deanne, introduce yourself.
Hi.
Uh,
I'm Deanne. I'm a retail expert on store design. I started as an architect, so I love store design, anything to do with physical retail operations, customer experience, and the intersection of human beings and technology in the physical space.
and I'm Barney Stature. I'm the quote Chief Conversation Officer here at Retail OCD. And my background is a combination of hospitality and then retail and consumer brands. And I like to talk about where technology meets people or just the store experience and the human experience. And so this is a different version of our podcast. This is a little hot take from Retail OCD on the road. It's Deanne and I going to stores and doing some compare and contrast between, in this case, Nordstrom Rack in two locations, one in Atlanta at a very prime mall location, and one in New York, Union Square, Nordstrom Rack.
Well, I'll bring up first picture.
Boy, I don't know, studio audience. What do you see? I see product I can't buy, or I don't see product and I can't buy anything. And I'm standing online at the checkout there in Herald Square.
Union Square, and you can't buy any product. Now, you mentioned this before, maybe they were in a transition period. When I look at your store picture in New York City, that could be a possibility because there's zero product on the shelf. So maybe they are in the process of setting it up. But in the Atlanta store that I went to, they had product on the shelf. There were just a lot of holes in that product. And it was in an aisle. It wasn't in a prominent location. And it really did look neglected.
In aisle, not in checkout lane.
That's right.
Wow. That speaks to complete brand elimination to me rather than transition on the checkout impulse aisles, which is
Right.
where I was taking that photograph.
And everywhere in this beauty section, shelves were empty, holes. It looked very sad and it looked unstocked. I was also, as an aside, really shocked at the prices because to me, it's supposed to be a discount store. And some of the products were more expensive than they would be at Ulta or Sephora.
Or it's supposed to, in the case of where I was in the aisle, be an impulse on a smaller price point that invites you into the brand for the first time. So, but either way, this speaks to me wanting to do some forensics this week on, are they having buyer transitions? Are they having vendor transitions, category eliminations? What are they doing in this category? Right. And you said something very interesting. They're investing in new stores. So maybe the money's going to that when it, in fact, as you said, should be going to fix these really high traffic stores.
Exactly. So Nordstrom currently has about, I think they have 298, if you want to be specific. I just think of it as roughly 300 stores. What they've stated is they plan to have 400 by the end of 2028. Very, very aggressive new store policy. I really haven't seen a lot of retailers have something that aggressive, but you can't do that and still pay attention to your existing stores. And it's really showing. So when I look at this picture here, the Lancome display, Anastasia, in your store, it's empty.
I don't understand it on almost any level. I'll go back to hospitality. It's leaving an unbussed table.
Yes, that's a great analogy.
And so those are dirty dishes right there. Those are the unopened bottles of iced tea left on the table or what have you. And if that's the case, clear the table, remove the table, remove the display, put up a bucket of flowers, artificial or otherwise, and still keep that traffic pattern going.
Right. Or put a simple, nicely printed tabletop sign on the shelf that says work in progress.
Hey, pardon our appearance.
Exactly.
I'm sorry we look like crap right now.
New things, something new coming.
Right.
I understand
and
that.
Present it maybe as a buying opportunity for the consumer. Like, while we're doing this, here's a little bit of a markdown on those things and help accelerate the movement of those goods out if that's really what they're trying to do.
Oh, that would be awesome. And the picture I took in Atlanta, you can't see the sign very well, but this says new and trending. So this end cap is devoted to new and trending products. Not a single product in there was either new
Poor trending. That is not a good look.
Old established brands, Clinique, Osea, they were all brands that have been around forever. Now this one, the one in Atlanta, again, the picture doesn't show it off very well, but this was right by the main entrance. It's a locked case. It has Anastasia MAC beauty products in it. They're locked. There's a button there. Press if you need help getting unlocked. You can't even get to it because they store carts in front of it. And
Great.
This is a permanent cart storage. You can't see it in this picture because the picture is stretched by this software we're recording on.
Again, that's floor maintenance. That's like there's some chairs that are pulled out from the table in the restaurant and customers can't get through. So like push them back in.
Exactly. And then this New York City image. What are we looking at here?
Again, I'm on aisle, a checkout lane. And so my first approach was just to see what is actually on the shelf or not. And they have the 25 price point signage, which to me makes me think it's feeding that impulse shopper who says, oh, what can I get for 25? It's a treasure hunt. But to me, it's a little bit brutalist just by putting the price out there. And I would rather have, along with that, merely some content which says great discoveries for under $25.
Right. And 25 seems expensive for impulse, does it not?
And I think that there's a way, if you're going to put one price point out, put 2 price points out and merchandise. And then you have a juxtaposition and an opportunity for the customer to say, I can spend a little more, or I don't want to spend that much and I will spend a little less, and gravitate towards one or the other rather than be immediately refused because it's too little or too much.
Absolutely. And then I think customers would buy more of the 25 because if you're looking at it in comparison to something that's 15 or 20, it's only a few dollars more to get something.
It's an upsell. Would you like a side of fries with that?
Exactly. And it's really disappointing to me because this aggressive construction policy that they have is really ignoring the fact that it would be actually more cost effective and more profitable for them to fix their existing stores. It would cost the same to fix their existing almost 300 stores as to build 12 new stores. That would cost about the same to fix their operations, their merchandising, and their training problems. So why don't they come up with maybe a hybrid where they can fix their existing stores? They can build fewer new stores, have something that is a little bit of a hybrid strategy so that they're building on more solid ground. Because I did a little bit of a deep dive into user reviews, and they're brutal. They really are. Mostly negative. Staff attitude, the customer service is getting progressively worse. Shoppers describe the staff as dismissive, rude, inattentive, eye-rolling, ignoring customers.
Wow. And that's so antithetical to what Nordstrom, the parent, cut their teeth on, which was their shoe department, which was just like the best, the finest, and the greatest service and salespeople.
It is. The shoppers are really dissing the store for bad organization. Fitting rooms are messy and overwhelming. Clothes are overflowing on racks in the store. The stores are dirty. The stores are really getting criticized.
It begs the question, what is their decision-making process? How holistic is it on a corporate level? And are they empowering the existing store management in that conversation with new store development and design?
Exactly. Well, and the one that concerns me, one of the bigger shopper complaints that's popping up more and more frequently, particularly at newer locations, is that they're finding the clothing quality to be substandard. And so when you put the word Nordstrom in there, the perception is they're going to get discount goods from Nordstrom, off-price goods from Nordstrom. Things that didn't sell at Nordstrom at full price are bleeding down into Nordstrom Rack. That's the benefit of shopping at Rack. And shoppers are not finding that to be true. And so they're really starting to complain. And so that is really starting to take a hit. Those stores are underperforming.
And it's such an opportunity for them at this time, the macroeconomic, microeconomic forces right now for them to take advantage of it.
TJ Maxx, they make upwards of $600 a square foot in sales. Nordstrom is nowhere near that.
Well, and what you're saying too about the quality of the product, it speaks to that period of time when the outlets were starting off with a better product or overruns a better product at an outlet store. seasonal ends, and now then it became designing product for the outlets at a lower quality than just slapping on the J. Crew label or whatever label it
Right.
was.
Right. There's a lot of research out there that shows that if you improve your store fundamentals, almost immediately you will see a very conservative estimate says 3 to 5% comp sales lift. So if they could get that right away from fixing up their stores, the benefit to that with avoiding new lease costs, construction costs, all of that will be significantly more profitable than building 100 new stores. So do that and build 50 new stores and be more strategic in where you place them. I think that would probably be a smarter move than what they're doing now.
Allocation of resources. Build a few less stores and fix this. But again, likening it to hospitality or food service or a buffet line, if you are not keeping the macaroni and cheese filled in the bucket, nobody's going to scoop it up and eat it.
Well, exactly. And if you look at the store here in Atlanta with the label peeling off and product missing from stores and it's messy, I saw this all throughout the store in Atlanta. And I went to another location. This was at the Perimeter Mall. This was a high-end location in Atlanta. I went to an even higher end location in Atlanta and a very densely populated, densely shopped area. Both of those stores were very empty. And the stores all looked like this with damaged signage, empty shelves, things fallen over, missing pricing, messy stuff, and garbage piled in the corner in one store.
But again, to hospitality and your point, all these missing points, a hotel operator will do a walkthrough in the morning and he'll do a walkthrough with his list from the day before. Hey, this sign was supposed to be glued on. We discussed it yesterday.
At the same time, the stores do make money. Eric Nordstrom himself has said that they build them out, they shove product in them, they do the minimum here, and they still are profitable. And so that's why they're building them out so aggressively. And it's also insurance against the coming economic hardships and existing economic hardships, I guess. And people are pulling away from the full price brand. So this is something that they're doing to protect themselves. Smart move, but make it even smarter by putting a little bit more of the Nordstrom fairy dust on this.
Right.
Protect your brand a little bit more.
And clearly it's not a vendor problem. We were looking at Kiehl's before and how that was emptied out. These are not all Estee Lauder brands, so they're not having it for 6 weeks. So it's something else, and I'm sure they can address it if they make it a priority.
And I love the feet here.
Well, I was really shopping, and so I'm wearing those that were in the bottom left, that orange box.
Very nice.
I highly recommend them to begin with age.
All right.
I was just, hey, there's 4 different pairs of shoes here. We're all shopping for shoes and stuff.
I thought that was cool. A little artiste in you.
Artiste, that's just me. And look up some Diane Arbus photos.
Bottom line, Nordstrom, get back to the fundamentals, please.
Keep it clean, fill the shelves.
All right. Okay. Next store.
Absolutely. We'll see you on the road another time. Make requests. Deanna and I will go to a store.
We take requests for sure.
We take requests. Absolutely.
All right. Bye.
That's in the quartermaster store.